Good morning, everyone. If it is morning, that is. I don't really know. Kind of lost track a long time ago. Been awake for a while now. People tend to lose track of time, night and day, sleep and awake, when they've been alive for a while now. I don't really know if it's morning anymore, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Because you guys can forgive me when I'm wrong. You're nice audience members. I mean, I hope you don't forgive me. You really shouldn't, but it's okay if you do, too. Guess I'm supposed to tell a story, but don't really want to, if I'm being honest. Never really liked stories myself. Make me feel a little trapped, boxed in. But I guess I can change all that, change myself. A story can be nice if it's not too mean or pretentious or long or boring or too human, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Stories can be nice if they're not too human. So here we go. There was once a girl. I don't know her name. You can really call her anything you want. I don't think she really cares because she's not real. She doesn't really exist. So call her anything. Just call her the girl if you want to. I'm fine with that. I don't really care, but you might find it easier if you name her. Easier to root for her. Easier to box her in and understand her a little. So consider the girl. She was one of those nice-looking girls with the blonde speckled hair, slim oval face, freckles, almond eyes, no makeup, thin and small, a little prepubescent looking, but beautiful, really beautiful. With that dimpled smile that was always so pretty and just a little sad. When she walked, her ankles would bounce slightly off the floor, as though they were trying to propel her up towards some better, different life that she was supposed to be living. She knew she was supposed to be living it, but she just couldn't quite reach it. Do you remember 9/11? I do. Really vividly, but not the normal stuff. Not the usual stuff, the sanitized television images, and those little never forget posters that really just make you want to forget. I remember different stuff. Like I remember how it was sunny that day, and then it wasn't. Just like that. A little strange when you think about it, isn't it? Towers go up, proclaim their being to the sky, and then shrink back into themselves. Like me. Like you. Like us. I got distracted. Really shouldn't do that. But it seemed related to me somehow. I hope you feel that at least a little bit. Anyway, back to the story. The girl met a man when she was very young. Very young, just a baby. They grew up together, took care of each other. Together, always together. Strange how that can happen. He had those deep brown eyes, mop of black hair, sinking sadly down to his neck. He loved her so much, she loved him too. The typical things like that, just the normal cliches. She grew up with him. They grew old together. And he was her father. Or maybe not. Could have been her husband too, a boyfriend, a son, a cousin. Doesn't really matter anymore. Seemed like he shifted a little, all around. One time, when she was laughing, he was able to make her cry instead. She loved how he could do that. But things were always changing. She got taller, lost that little girlish smile and those bouncy angles that used to push her up. And his hair was gray. It was brown, that brown, then gray, then white, then gone. He spent more time alone, nursing his wounds in that little armchair in the corner, and she suddenly felt that crack in everything, that whole and lonely luck of just being you, just being alive here with other people. And she auditioned lots of people to replace him. She really, really tried hard. And not just the usual sweet guys, but also those mean-looking ones from across the street with the needles dangling dangerously from their arms, swaying gently in the breeze. She even tried girls sometimes, but that wasn't right for her. Maybe it was. She had forgotten how to feel, forgotten what it was supposed to feel like. And she started to itch on her right knee. She would scratch until it was raw and bleeding, and the blood would always spread, warm little pools of red liquor dripping out always onto the early morning sidewalk. Ever hear that story about the two lonely women who forgot their names while they were drinking together on a lonely summer day? They were just sitting there, just being alive, and suddenly, the past just fell out from under them. I used to think it was funny, but now it just seems strange and a little sad. I mean, and it could happen to any of us. We think we're safe. We think we're solid, so unchangeable, so firm in our neat little worlds. Like I couldn't wake up tomorrow and find that I'm just no longer me. A different person, and not just slightly, not in those little ways, but completely unrecognizable. It's such a weird feeling when that happens. When you forget how to be you, just an agony and an ecstasy all at once. I got distracted again. Back to the story. So consider an image now. The man, her husband, her boyfriend, her son, her cousin, it doesn't really matter. A love of this girl's very being is lying at her side. Dead. And not just half dead, but all the way. The kind of dead that makes the air all crisp and the floor suddenly soft and dense. She stands over him, or not over him, but over his dead body, over the empty shell. He has no hair now. She's still really beautiful, but maybe it's rude of me to say something like that at this time. So the years just keep passing, and she still doesn't move from over his body, and winter turns to spring, and the sun swallows the earth, and that great crashing longing that we all must know suddenly evaporates into dust. And she whispers some sad, idiotic, sentimental phrase over his body, but she means it. She really means it, just about as much as I mean it, as I say to you now that I love you. I leave you, I breathe you, I live you, I love you. What would I do without you? Guess that's the end of the story. Don't really know where to go from there. I didn't really like it, to tell you the truth. But I still miss it, even though I didn't like it. Miss it already. Funny how that can happen. I'm shrinking. Maybe you are too. It's okay. We can shrink together and watch the little bits of our lonely, sad, fucking gorgeous lives dance flittingly out of reach. But maybe we won't just watch. Maybe we can dance too. I'd like that. That would be nice. We'd sing and shout, laugh and cry, and know that this was life. Thanks very much, guys.